It was completely surreal. I just got home from work at about 20 to 8 last night and was sitting down on the couch and heard a soft yell for help from outside the front window. I looked outside and looked out to the harbour pool, and Lauren was there on the outside ladder of the harbour pool, sort of propping herself up with her leg trailing behind her, and it was just a dark red pool of blood.
That is one of the heroes who helped save Lauren O'Neill's life after she was attacked by a suspected bull shark in Sydney Harbour last night. The 29-year-old was swimming near a private wharf at Elizabeth Bay in the city's eastern suburbs. Neighbour Michael Porter has told Sky News about the moment he was able to get to her.
I then immediately jumped up and called 000, sprinted out to the scene, and then my neighbour Simon was there as well. He also was calling 000. We just went straight by her side and we reassured her that everything was going to be okay. Neighbours then started coming down with towels. My neighbour Fiona, who's a vet, she brought down tourniquets and bandages, and I believe that's the reason why Lauren's life was saved. I think Fiona saved her life. She's a complete hero. We just stayed down there with her. I stayed on the phone with the ambulance following their instructions, and eventually they got down there and sort of popped up a little hospital around her, and all the neighbours were down there within moments and did everything that they could do to help.
Another local resident, Georgia, has described rushing over to give Lauren first aid.
We heard a shout, and she swam out to the boat. And on her way back, she got bitten by, I think it was a bull shark. And then so we ran out. My wife's a vet, and she basically bandaged it up. And the bone's broken, and it was pretty hectic actually. We had got some bandages. We kept her warm, and my wife basically bandaged her up to stop the bleeding. Because if she got bitten out there, she wouldn't have survived.
Michael Porter has also described the condition he found Lauren in just moments after the attack.
From the knee down was completely open. It was like the worst horror movie you'd ever seen. She was pretty lucid though, and responsive. She was saying that she just kept saying, "Oh, thank you for calling the ambulance. So I'm grateful," and that sort of thing. So I'm not sure if she totally knew the extent of how bad it appeared her leg was, and she was losing a lot of blood. The water around her was all still red where she just got out of the water.
Lauren suffered significant injuries to her right leg. She was taken to St Vincent's Hospital in a serious but stable condition. Emergency services have praised the neighbours for their efforts in saving Lauren's life.
We believe the young lady was swimming off a private wharf down here at Elizabeth Bay and was assisted by bystanders from the water. The bystanders did an exceptional job looking after this young lady. She has significant lower limb injuries but has been transported in a serious but stable condition to St Vincent's Hospital. Anytime there's a significant wound with major hemorrhage and blood loss, we always recommend as much firm direct pressure as possible to try and stem that bleeding until our paramedics can arrive.
Lauren remains in a stable condition and is likely to undergo surgery today. Sky News reporter Kenny Heatley returned to the scene this morning to speak to locals who often swim in that same spot.
But certainly a shock for residents who we've been talking to this morning that it happened just here in the heart of Sydney Harbour.
I've just been thinking it's only a matter of time. Hey, the doom and gloom. It's really sad for the woman and her family, but you just know that there's bull sharks in the area.
I love swimming down here, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure at this stage. Maybe just up to my knees.
Shark experts have explained why Sydney Harbour can be a dangerous place.
We know decades ago, abattoirs just used to pour their refuse into the harbour. Sharks learned that Sydney Harbour was a great place to get a free, easy feed. This is generational intelligence that these animals have.
The number of shark attacks in Australia has doubled over the past 2 decades, and there have been multiple fatalities in New South Wales since 2021.
We have received images of the injuries, and we can confirm, based on the bite characteristics, that bull shark was likely responsible for the injuries.
Lauren O'Neill had only recently moved to the area, but her neighbours are already planning a special visit.
She is in a stable condition this morning. You must be relieved about that.
Absolutely, she was incredibly brave, and it's incredible to hear that she's in a stable condition. That's the greatest blessing of the whole thing.
I mean, just your reflections on it now, even the next day, Michael, like the images that you say, it's out of a horror movie. Someone coming out of the water with a shark bite and blood everywhere. It's the worst kind of image. How are you feeling about it today?
Oh, I can't shake the image out of my head, to be honest. Didn't really get much, if any, sleep last night. I think it'll take a while to process what we saw, but I can only imagine what Lauren's going to have to go through over the next weeks and months to try and recover from what had happened.
So did you know her before this?
No, she just moved into the building a couple of months ago, so we hadn't met prior. No, I didn't know her. But I'll make sure to follow her up and try and catch up with a couple of neighbours to perhaps go and see her to check on how she's going.